program works there? How easy is it, for students to join universities in Canada after completing this particular program? And the team over here right now is mostly covering South Asia. Okay, so you have India, we have from Sri Lanka, we have Nepal, we have BDs in Pakistan, in this region. So as we go along, there might be certain FAQs or questions they might ask you at the end of the presentation. And we also want to know about the last mail about the medical options which you shared with us, in terms of fees, in terms of, and then I'll have a separate call with you after this about, especially for the medical, that how we can go out, because I got two mails from you. One was for Poland, and there's one more from some country. I think I got two mails for
Yes.
medicine. Yeah. So we need to they discuss this as well in this call.
Yeah. I send you one email from Poland and one email from Hungary.
Hungary, yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Poland.
But Hungary is not a medical university.
Yeah.
Just to make this clear.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I think we should start from far away. We start with Canada to give everyone an orientation. I think it's much easier. So let me, before to explain and to open the website, etc. Let me explain the main part here, because I think this is the most important part, and this I can explain only by voice. So Canada has different options. Okay, so they have high school and they have university and they have college. Now, what happened in the last couple of years? Canada is becoming a little bit strict in terms of accepting international students from Southeast Asia. They still welcome a lot of students, logically, but the entry requirement is quite high. And the universities are getting many applications every day. Just to give you an idea, the University of Toronto, they get every day around 100 applications from India, 100. So say this, the problem is the University of Toronto. I make an example, University of Toronto, to give you an idea. University of Toronto receive 100 applications every day. They cannot manage them. So what they do, they only take the best one. They take the one who have the best English score. They take the one who are the best in the high school program, and all the rest, they just tell them that they cannot accept them. So we noted in the last years, this is a big problem in every university. So we say, how we can solve this problem? How we can solve this problem? Many students apply from the high school directly to the university, and they will be rejected for one reason or the other reason, or because they have enough Indian students, or because the level is not enough for them, or because they choose other students who has a better study. And we say, okay, let's talk with the OSSD, the Ontario Secondary School Diploma. And we noted that is a market on the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, which usually is only for younger students under 18 years old. But now the OSSD is available as well for adult students. So this means that adult students who are in the age of 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 are able to go to Canada and do the OSSD diploma. And what is the great advantage of this? When they go to Canada, during the first year, the OSSD diploma is a one-year program. During this year, all the students, they will be registered in the 101 program in the state of Ontario, but not only. I share the 101 program to Pavan. I don't know if he shared this to you, but the 101 program in the state of Ontario include about 40, 50 universities in Canada. So that means that all the students who will do the OSSD diploma will be eligible to enter in this university. And the criteria to be accepted is completely different. Why? They will be, the criteria will be calculated as a national student, not as an international student. They still need to pay the international fee, but they will be calculated as a national student. Why? Because they already have the visa. Because they will do the first year, which is like a university pathway program. Let's call it like this one, or foundation. Some of you, they call this foundation, some call this university pathway program. They already have the visa. So when they register, so when we register the students into the university, they will be calculated as a national student. So this will go under another department. And the university, they need to accept the student. They cannot refuse them. Logically, if they're not eligible because maybe the English level is not good enough, etc., then logically they will not accept it. But during this 1 year, during the OSLT diploma, the University Pathway Program, if the English level is too low, they will do the IELTS inside in the school. So there is no problem on this one. In refer of entry into the Canadian university. I hope I make this clear. I mean, this is the most important part that you need to understand, because there's still a lot of Indian students who apply directly when they finish the high school to university in Canada, and many of them are rejected. And you know that when you are rejected from a university, you will be listed in a list. And the next time you want to try to register in one Canadian university, you need to fill out a form, and you need to say, was you rejected before in one other university? And if you put yes, then logically you don't have this great possibility to entry in another Canadian university. So this is why this OSLT diploma is booming at the moment in everywhere in Southeast Asia. So everyone wants to do this program because it gives them the possibility to entry to the Canadian university in using the 101 program. I will share you after I speak the 101 program, so you can have a look at what is this. So this is the main part for you to understand, because I know when you speak to parents or your students, they say, but I want to apply directly. Again, to apply directly, if you apply to a university, they are getting so many applications and they only accept the best one, and all the other one will be rejected. And when you have a rejected letter, this is a negative step. And then to reapply in another university, you will be always a second under second position, not on first position. So this is why this OSS diploma it's now becoming very interesting for all the Southeast Asian market. On terms of visa, the visa process is the same, like register the students into a Canadian university. So this means that every student needs to deposit 10,000 Canadian dollar inside in a Canadian bank. This is the Canadian law. So if you're not familiar with this, I will send you this information by email. So every student who apply for this program, for the University Pathway Program, they need to make a deposit of 10,000 Canadian dollar inside in a Canadian bank. And they need to show this when they will apply at the Canadian Embassy. So after you register your students for this program, every student will receive an interview. So there is a dedicated team inside of the school who will interview the students. So the students will be interviewed in English, logically, and they will give them a timing, a date where the interview will be held. The interview is online, and if the students pass the interview, everything is fine. They can apply for the program in Canada. So this is to make a long story short. I will share my screen for a second now. Okay, I hope that I will copy and paste this website on the chat system. So this is the website. I don't know if you had the opportunity to visit the website before, to have a look where you find all the information about the OSS diploma for adult, international students, tuition fee, etc. Now I will just share the screen for a second. So as you can see here, this is the tuition fee, the technology fee, the pillar fee, for the bank fee, student service fee. The total is 20,840 Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar. But what is important is this part here. Important to note. Some students may require extra course from grade 11 because when we do the interview and when we receive all the information from your students, the school will look inside all the program, and they will see if they choose, for example, engineering pathway, etc. Maybe they missing some subjects. So if they're missing some subject, they need to do this subject again. So it's very, very important for you to understand that all the students will receive an interview, and let's say 95% of the students who receive an interview, usually everything is fine. But it always happens if someone maybe want to enter in a medical or something else, that they maybe need to do some additional course on grade 11. This is just for your information, but this can be only, this will be told to the students directly after the interview. This cannot be seen before, only after the interview and when we get all the application. Now let's go into the application form, just to give you an idea. Let me go here. So this is the application form where the students need to fill out, or you can fill out for the student. It's very important that you upload all the information from the last 3 years. So from the last 3 years of the high school, this is very important. All the transcript, but this is the standard application system. Nothing complicated. Here you can select, logically, we are talking about the grade 12. So the students will do the grade 12. So they can choose the different program. They can choose business pathway, science pathway, etc. All these pathways who are indicated here. So logically, if someone will choose a medical pathway, it's very important as well that on grade 11, the students did medical pathway. So it's not the student can just apply a medical pathway, and if he did not, if on grade 11, he was not doing this. So your students, they will apply only on grade 12. This is the OSS diploma, Ontario Secondary School Diploma. This is extra if someone wants to have some extra package life lessons, but this is not common for students who go on campus directly in Canada, because we have many students who apply as well online, just for your information. Nothing complicated. As you can see, it's a very standard and simple application form to complete. So it's nothing that we say that the requirement must be so high that students will not be accepted. Until today, let's say 95%, 98% of the students were accepted. Now let's go inside in the one-to-one program, which you will find directly here, one-to-one education. Okay. Okay, so this is the one-on-one system, and I will just copy this and put this on the chat system for all of you. Voila. So you can go through and read everything, but to make a long story short, during this one-year university pathway program, the students will be able to enter in one of these universities indicated here, which include the top university, like I mentioned, University of Toronto, University of Ottawa, etc. Logically, students are registered as well to other universities. Some students want to go to the United States. This is still possible as well. Some students want to go to another state in Canada. This is possible as well. But this is just to give you an orientation, an idea on which university the students are able to register. So this is happened during the OSS diploma. So during the 1 year program, they are abroad. So when they start abroad, after 2-3 months, the students will start to do this application system. So very, very important. You will find all this information directly on the link here. So this is regarding the OSS diploma. In regard of the website, you can go to the website of WEBA OSA and you will find all the information. For the accommodation, students will have many options. Logically, these are all adult students, so they can find their own accommodation if they wish. They can use a homestay. They can use a small apartment. Every student is independent. So we will assist the students. There are several studios as well around the school that they can rent. So there is a lot of opportunity in the fair of accommodation. Some choose the homestay, some others prefer to just have their own apartment or own studio. This is up to every single student. So I'm ready to listen to all the questions that you may have.
Hi Richard, how are you?
Fine, fine, Durgesh, please.
In case of,
You are on mute. You're on mute.
am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. So in case of the visa requirement for English category, specifically for SDS category, so will that remains the same for pathway courses as well, or will there any chances of getting any sort of changes is there in that?
No, I mean, with India students, we don't have any issue, to be honest. Indian, Ghana, Nigeria students, no problem. Bangladesh, no problem.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a problem with Nepali students. It depends during the interview, you know, if they maybe are not so good on English level, then they maybe will need to do an online English course, so we will assist them. But with
Okay.
Indian students, if they can provide that they study in the last 3 years the subject in English, then there is no issue. We don't have any issue with Indian students in the fair of the English level, Durgesh.
Okay, okay. So on definitely while talking about the visa category for SDS category, specifically a student needs a IELTS examination which with no less than 6 band and overall 6.5 band. So will that remains the same in that case?
It will remain the same, yes.
Okay, okay. Understood. That's it from my end. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But I can tell you, Dukesh, we had some students which are lower English level,
Okay,
and we help the students before that he arrive to reach a better level. I mean, we accept all examination, IELTS, TOEFL, Cambridge, LinguaCert, Duolingo,
okay,
everything. Even some high school give the letter that the students study English in the last 3 years. So this is the MOI. This is accepted as well. Remember, this is another category. This is not the university category. This is
okay,
the school category, which is something between is in between the school and the university. So this will not be calculated as a university entrance, but as a university pathway program. So
okay,
maybe for this reason, they are not so strict than the visa section, because technically many students do their last year high school in Canada, and they don't need to have any English certificate for your information. But during the year of the OSS diploma, the students, if they need an IELTS to enter in a specific university, they will do the IELTS inside in Canada at the OSA school. So during this year, they will do the IELTS. So you don't have to worry about this. I mean, the school will prepare the students and they will give them the examination so they are ready to enter into the Canadian university. I hope
okay.
this is a little bit more
Absolutely.
clear.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Good,
Great, thanks to you. Okay.
good. Any more questions? Where is my Dr. Ken from Ghana? Any questions? He's in coffee break. I don't know.
Actually looking at the tuition.
Yes.
I was actually looking at the tuition because when we want to compete in the market, we have a lot of competitors in the market. Those that have reduced their tuition drastically to gain in the heart of the African student. You know our situation here in Africa, and financial problem is number one problem we have in Africa, even though the student would love to do the program. So is there a way you can look at the tuition, number one? And then number two, is there also another way you can look at the payment flexibility? Maybe we have options of payment of tuition, which will be a juicy one, because if you should give a student the option to maybe pay confirmation deposits of this amount of money before the student will start processing his or her visa, that will be a juicy one, because if should the student get the visa, the student will not hesitate, or the parent of the said student will not hesitate to quickly complete the tuition payment. I think this is my idea, because dealing with African students, I've seen a whole lot happening here in Africa. People are really interested in the program, but maybe because of financial challenges, they may not be able to come in. So is there some way you can look at these options and then work on it so as it will fit to our system properly?
Dr. Ken, thank you very much for your questions. I have to explain you something. If you want to go to Canada, a university costs, a good university costs about 25,000 Canadian dollars per year to 30,000 Canadian dollars, a very good university. This is the situation. In the UK, a good university costs about 50,000 pounds to 70,000 pounds. In America, it costs about 40,000 to 60,000 US dollars per year. There is not much you can do on this. The tuition fees are regulated, and as well in refer of payment, etc. I mean, the issue is always the Canadian embassy. If the student is not able to pay for the tuition fee the first year, they will not give the visa. So it's very simple. Even, you know, it's logical, because this is how they get so many requests. I mean, if you go in the UNESCO student mobility, you will see how many African students study in Canada. You will be shocked. There are huge amount of African students study in Canada, and they all follow the regulation of the Canadian embassy. They need to pay the tuition fee in advance. The tuition fee cannot be changed. As I said from the beginning, you know, only the University of Toronto, they get so many applications every day, and they only take the best one. They only take the one who scored the best on the last year high school, the one who take the best on the English level. And so they take maybe 5–10% per day. So 90% of the other students will be rejected. So if then there will be 1 or 2 students who even ask for a payment plan, they will not even consider. This is unfortunately the reality today, Dr. Ken. It's not much we can do. It's not much I can do. I try it many times, but there is no way. There is no way. I mean, for students from Ghana who have a financial situation, etc., what I suggest is the university in Hungary, which has a very low tuition fee, which is very affordable to pay. The tuition fee per semester is 1,850 US dollars. So it's very easily to afford. We have many applications, especially from Cameroon and Nigeria at the moment coming in. And this is what I suggest. I mean, if you're thinking that Canada is too expensive, then you should not focus on this market. focus on in other market. Maybe if you have maybe 1 or 2 students per year who can afford to pay this tuition fee, then logically suggest Canada. But the other one, you want to have a good number of commission in the end of the day, then send them to Hungary. So you make more money and you don't bother yourself. You know, why bother yourself if you have many clients who want to go to Europe where the tuition fee is very low? Just send them to Europe. You have a line outside in the office waiting for you of students who want to go to Europe because the tuition fee is so low. You know, I learned in my life in this business world that we have to take what it's come. You know, when we have a good time and people have money, then they go to Canada, USA as well, UK. When the recession is here, we work with smaller university in the middle of Europe, which are part of the Schengen visa, which is good as well. And we do this type of business. I mean, Dr. Ken, this is the situation we are in today.
So the deposit in the Canadian university, the amount of deposit in the Canadian university, are you talking about the tuition, or do you mean a different amount? Because if the student should pay his 1 year tuition to the university, I didn't get that phrase clear. Are you talking about there is another deposit of 10,000? Sorry, there's amount of money you mentioned, Canadian dollars, into a Canadian bank, or are you talking about insurance? Insurance for the student?
No. There is the situation is like this, that the Canadian embassy requirement to get the visa is that every student who want to study in Canada needed to deposit 10,000 Canadian dollar in a bank in Canada. That's it. And they need to prove this. And there are several banks who work with international students. This has nothing to do with the tuition fee. This has nothing to do with accommodation. They need to deposit 10,000 Canadian dollars. Like in Germany. In Germany, it's the same concept. If someone wants to study in Germany, they need to deposit 10,000 euro in this case. And then logically, the students are eligible when they are there in Canada every month to take out a little bit. You know, they can take out every month a little bit. And Canada did this just to make sure that the students have enough money to cover themselves while they are in Canada. I mean, in somehow is logically, but in other, I know, 20,000 for the tuition fee, 10,000 for bank deposit is 30,000. But this is the situation. This is the law in Canada.
Fantastic. Thank you.
I don't know if it's fantastic, but it's the law in Canada.
We are ready to play the ball. We are ready.
Ghana is good in playing soccer.
Yes, we are good. We are going to play it academically. We are ready for it.
Good. Mr. Sali, you have any questions? I can see that you unmute yourself.
Yes, I do not have a question actually. Just
Good.
wanted to introduce you and also tell you the setup of Meta Apply. So I'm in charge of student recruitment for Meta Apply, and so I'll be responsible to meet the target for you.
Good.
Yeah, with all these fantastic BDM team that we have. So just to let you know, we are in the process of setting up visa desk, wherein we have our in-house in charge called Durgesh, the guy who asked the questions to you first. That's here. And we are building the visa process setups for all the countries. The first thing first, we are doing it for the Canada. So he will be in charge of all the visa inquiries and queries from anywhere whoever wants to go to Canada to study. So that's what just wanted to give you information on that.
It's good, Mr. Sali. I mean, the visa process is the most important things today.
Yeah.
And I work with a good number of Indian agents, and only the agents who has a visa department are the one who are successful. Because without a visa department, it's getting big problem. Because the staff have to concentrate in speaking to the parents and to the students. And then they should not do all the work, you know, because sometimes it's too much. And it's good that you have a visa section.
Yes.
If you need any help, Mr. Sally, we can have a one-to-one meeting later on, so I can help you. We can look into this. This is absolutely not a problem. I mean, now this today is a general meeting, so to explain a bit how everything is working. But I presume you're already familiar with the 10,000 Canadian dollar to deposit into Canada, so I don't have to explain you how this is working. You are a businessman and you already did your homework on this part, I presume. On your view, how many students you think you will be able to bring, Mr. Sally, for September intake, just to have an idea?
So now here's the thing, for September intake, because of this visa situation, we are actually in the last leg of the applications. So what we are trying, so the intention of today's call is to understand how the process works. So now that what we will do is that we'll go back and on our whiteboard and put some numbers there and see what we can do.
Good, 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 good. So, Mr. Bazim, you were there as well. You had some question you want to ask?
Not yet, no questions as of now, but yeah, there will be more questions that will be coming up as we move forward, and there will be a lot of things our team would need to know in terms of requirements, process, how the applications are to be done, how to, get the offers on time and things like that. So there will be a lot of questions, and we will keep in touch on those.
So for the application, I just share a copy of the application form, which I think it's quite simple to complete. It's not a big deal. Usually the offer letter will be sent out within 1, 2, maximum 3 working days. We are quite fast on this. It's not a big issue. The main issue is logically to have then the interview with the students. To be honest, with some students, we did not do any interview because it was so perfect, the documentation we received, and we check it and we noted that there is no need to have an interview. The student passed, let's go on and move on. But some students from some other country, Bangladesh, we had to have some interview in order to understand a bit more. Sometimes the director of study, he's making the decision and he decides this yes, this no, this yes, this no. But with Indian students, there are not really big issue when we get the application form. Some will receive an interview, some not, depend on the documentation. Is any issue about the application form, Vasim? You cannot complete application form? I don't think it's very complicated.
Yeah, it should be pretty straightforward. But if there are any doubts, we will ask. No,
okay,
absolutely.
Okay.
So what is the
So,
application deadline, Richard?
Durgesh, but we have the intake in September, and then we have the next intake in November and in January. So we have rolling application, to be honestly. Rolling application, it's mean that in case the student will not be eligible for September for many reasons, visa delayed, etc., we jump into November. So rolling application is the good way you can do this with the University Pathway Program. So there is not a deadline. Logically, as you are all salespeople here, when you do a marketing campaign, do a deadline. Don't tell this to the students that it's a rolling application, because then it's a never-ending story. Just say the deadline is, for example, the 30 June for September, and then the next deadline is the 30 July for November. Just that you anticipate a little bit the work, not that everyone goes under the stress when you do an application. Everyone wants to work smoothly without go under pressure or stress for nothing, because then after, you need to open this bank account in Canada, and it takes usually 7 days to 10 days. They always say 1-2 days, but it's not true. It always takes 7 to 10 days, even 2 weeks sometimes. So, you know, until you have all the documents ready and to apply for the visa. And then another point, the Canadian High Commission is doing some strike at the moment as well, especially in India. So there are some delays as well here. And to have a meeting, you know, to have an interview is not so easy because you need to apply about 3 months in advance in order to get a meeting at the Canadian Embassy to receive the visa. So try always to work 3-4 months in advance. This is a suggestion that I give to everyone.
Hi, Richard.
Thank
I
you.
just have a question.
Please.
Yep. So, for interview questions, whatever is the interview question, do you have any set of interview question which you can share with us so that we can prepare the student upfrontly?
Yes, we have this. We will send this to you.
For sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. Pavan,
Yes.
any questions?
No, I'm pretty clear about, because the first discussion which we had also, it was more important for the sales people on ground, because they face daily questions from students or from our agents that, okay, this is what it is. So I think them having questions are much more important than me having questions. Easier.
Good.
Yeah,
Something
but
that I can point out, which maybe can be a very interesting point, is that this is Ontario. Ontario is a state in Canada which welcomes a lot of Indian students. Okay, so this is not the state of Saskatchewan or another state. This is Ontario, one of the biggest and important state in Canada. So this is a very important part. I mean, if the students will need to go to Saskatchewan, for example, which is another state in Canada, it will be a bit more complicated. So this is why there's more point that I wanted to explain to you. This is another great advantage. And they can choose a university inside in the same state. As you can see, there are a lot of university in the state of Ontario. And they don't need to move out. This is another important part, because if they get the visa to stay in Canada, in the state of Ontario, if they remain there, is a great advantage. Another advantage is that, let's presume someone will do the medical pathway. So if they do the medical pathway, as you know, the medical university in Canada is 6 years time, 6 years. If they do the OSSD, the University Pathway Program, and they choose the medical pathway, after 2 years, the students will be calculated as a resident students, as a national student. So they will pay the national fee. They will not pay the international fee anymore. So after the third year, they will pay the national fee. So for 3 years, they will save a lot of money. You follow me? This is a very, very important part about Pavan. The first years,
yes.
the first years, after the third years, they will be calculated as resident students. So they will
Yes.
pay the fee as a national students, not as international.
And a student, yes.
Yeah,
It's a very
instead-
strong USP.
Yes, exactly. Instead, if they enroll from a high school to a university, they will pay international fee until the end. So this is another very big important part that you should consider when you speak to parents, because now a recession is everywhere around the world. This is an important factor. I think this is to give you an overview about the school in Canada. If you wish, we can move on with Hungary. And then after we move on with the medical university. Pavan, let me know.
Yes. Guys, if you have any other questions, Prashant, before we move ahead with the next product. Wasim,
No.
Richard, I would also, yes, please. Pratap.
No, I do not have any questions.
Okay.
Richard, I think what will be useful for us is also that there's these pointers, what we are discussing, and the links which you have shared. Do you have these USPs or all this in a presentation format or something, which we can give it to all the BDMs, because for them it will be much more easier to just be there and give the options to them with probably a sheet or something you must have prepared for us to not prepare the whole thing again from our side, if we have that. If not, then we are okay to work on that too. A summary pointers or something.
No. I will share it to you, Pavan, a PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
But logically, Pavan, the explanation to explain to a parent or to a student the great advantage to do a university pathway program, because if you enroll directly, the risk is very high that you will be rejected.
Yes.
This you
yes.
cannot put this in a PowerPoint presentation. This is this has to be explained to the parents
Yes.
and to the students directly. This is not inside in the power. Just to explain this part, you know, this is the main important part. And every year as well, this year we already noted students try to apply directly. Some will accept it, some not. The problem is when you get a no, it's difficult then to apply in the university that you choose in advance. Again, this is the main problem. So this is why I suggest seriously to the majority of the students, logically, you have a genius student in your agency, then enroll them directly to university and everything is done. But unfortunately, we are not all genius. Oh, thanks God, we are not all genius. Thanks everyone, we are not all genius. So we have to work with the majority of the students and find them a solution. This is something that is not written in a PowerPoint presentation. This is only when we talk to parents and students. Okay, this is in refer of Canada. Let me know, Pavan, should we move on with the next
Yes,
school?
please. Yes,
Okay.
please. Yes, please. Better. Yeah.
So let's go to Hungary first. Yesterday, I sent to Pavan an email, and I want that he share, if you wish, logically, this email to all the staff. The University of Sopron, which is a university in Hungary, is offering the lowest, with one of the university who offer the lowest tuition fee in Europe. So the semester fee is $1,850 US, 1850 every semester. So to do a bachelor program, you need to do 8 semesters. Okay. So this is a great advantage for students who have financial difficulties, but they want to go to Europe. And they cannot go to UK because it's cost £12,000, £50,000, and whatever. If they go to Hungary, the accommodation, to give you an idea, is €150 per month, very low. And I'm sure, and we have to think in today in a different way, we have to give everyone the opportunity to study to Europe. So this was my philosophy in 2023, to find university, good university, state university, who has this kind of tuition fee. The commission, as I wrote to you, Pavan, is not a big commission, I know, but of $1,850 is not much you can give, you know. So what I suggest to every agent is to put on top one personal registration fee. You know, this is what I suggest to every agent who working with Hungary, to maybe charge the students $500 as a registration fee for the agency to cover the cost of $750 US. In Nigeria, for example, and in Pakistan and Bangladesh, we have agents who charge $750 US just as a placement fee. This is the way, because the commission is not the of 1,850 is not the best commission in the world, but it's not much they can do. They told me like this. So, but the issue is that the application deadline is ending on the 20th of May. So after the 20th of May, Pavan, is not possible to do any application anymore. This is the situation today. Is the 3rd of May, so it's not much time left. I know these are the conditions. I send you all the information from A to Z, how to apply. I send you by attachment the 4 PowerPoint presentation. They include 3 bachelor, 4 master and 1 PhD. And simple like that. When you apply the students, you need to complete the document I sent to you. The students need to pay immediately $150 in order that the university will start the application process. And then the students will receive an interview. All the students will receive an interview here. The great advantage is that this university, they need an English certificate, logically, but they accept as well Lingua Cert, which is possible to do online. I presume some of you are familiar with Lingua Cert, Pavan. I don't know if you're familiar with Lingua Cert. They don't accept Duolingo. They accept Lingua Cert, they accept IELTS, TOEFL, Cambridge, and they accept if they have a letter from a high school, which they did the last 5 years, English in the subject they choose. And yeah, they have another great opportunity in Hungary. They can work 30 hours per week. So this is quite unique. In Hungary, the students can work 30 hours per week. And this is another great advantage. This is why many students who have a financial difficulty, they choose Hungary because they can work during this time. I mean, this, I say again, the accommodation is 150 euro per month, and is a student residence. It's affordable for everyone. In order to be accepted, they have to pass the interview. And when they pass the interview, they need to pay the first semester at once, which is 1,850 US dollar, not euro, US dollar, and for the bachelor program. Then there are 2 bachelor who cost 1,850, and then is another bachelor who costs 2,000 US dollar. The master is 2,250, just to give you an idea. And I know it's quite late now. You have these options. If you have some students, they really want to go, this is the timing. And they just open 1 month from the 20th April until the 20th of May. This is a state university. They are very strict on this. We try to add a couple of weeks, but they say no, not possible. They got last year 2,000 students from Southeast Asia, 2,000 students, and about 500 students from Africa. Hungary is quite good in terms of visa. It takes always 2 months, 2-3 months, but they receive the visa. And Hungary is part of the Schengen. Schengen include all the European country, which is like Switzerland, Germany, Italy, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Hungary, Poland, etc. So, Pavan, this is your decision. You have to decide what you want to do on this.
No, I have to ask you something now. I was just discussing with Prashant as well, that we feel that the timeline is very short. Now, my question is, once the application is all there, after 20th, when is they have to arrive to the campus? Like, what is the starting date of the classes?
Yeah. Okay. The starting date is in September, but the university accepts the students until the 3rd week of September. Okay. So this is why 20 May is finished. Then will be the interview. It's around end of May, beginning of June. So they will get all the visa by the end of August. Last year, by the 30th of August, everyone got the visa and they was able to start on the 2nd week of September. So as well, if 1 or 2 or 10 students will receive the visa on the 1st week of September, they still can travel into Hungary. The university accepts students until the 3rd week of September.
Okay. Wasim, Prashant, so your take on this, like, no, we have less time, but something we can pull it off for Hungary. Do we have any applications in pipeline for Hungary? Interested or someone?
As of now, no applications, but what we can do is we can have a call with the team and see what sort of projections they can give at earliest.
Yeah, Richard. So I think for Hungary, for University of Sopron, you have to give us at least this week, end of this week, Friday. We'll sit with the team and like I can come up with some numbers to you that, okay, we are expecting to turn around certain applications towards Hungary, because yes, Canada, US is we do have a good pipeline. but in terms of
No,
Hungary, we have to see.
Pavan, it's fine. It's fine. There is absolutely not a problem. I mean, you can apply all the students on the 20th of May, logically. Just, I mean,
The form and all has to be, before that
exactly.
date has to be completed. But I'll give you estimation on this one as well, and I'll mail you by Friday, or myself and Prashant, any one of us will mail you about projections, what we feel that there's whether this is doable in this intake. But certainly, if not this intake, we'll keep this still promoting for the upcoming intakes as well. This is the plan. If this intake is not there, when is the next deadline after 20 May? What is the next line?
Okay, the issue with Hungary is this one. They have another intake in February next year, but they have only master, not bachelor. Okay. So the bachelor is always in September, not in February.
Okay. So we have to look into it.
But you know, you can take this as well for 2024. I mean, you have to think, okay, maybe this year we have only, I don't know, 3-5 students, which is fine. You can take this as an experience, as a feedback as well, in order to start to work for 2024. But the application is always open on a certain time, like 20 April, 20 May, which on my side is completely wrong. And I already explained it to the ministry there, but they say, we are like this is Hungary. I say, okay, that's fine for me. So let's move on with Poland, with the medical university, and let's start with the big problem. Let me explain to you something. The medical university in Poland decided last second to give the exclusivity to one agent for south of India. So we can only recruit students in north of India. And I have all the states as well, which I will send to you, Pavan. I will send you the state where you cannot recruit students, So this is unfortunately a last second, which I received 2 days ago. They decided, and I say, why you do this is the biggest mistake a university can do, to give an exclusivity to an agent. And but they decided to do this step. So now, are you all located in the south of India, or some of you are located in north of India as well?
So it's pan India. Every state almost we have our team. So one is taking care. So we have divided in north, south, east, and west. So we have regional managers taking care of that, and then there's also country manager. So we have a country manager of India. Then we have someone taking care of Nepal and Bangladesh. Then we have Sri Lanka separately. So
Sri Lanka, no problem. Nepal, no problem. Bangladesh, no problem. Nigeria, Africa, no problem. Ghana, no problem. The only problem is south of India. And not much I can do on this.
Maybe South India is actually the strongest potential of students for coming for medical studies, because they usually choose engineering or medical, the South Indian students.
I know.
Is Maharashtra, okay, what about Delhi, NCR, Maharashtra, all this is open?
South, give me a second. I need to tell you which state are available. Which state are out. 1 second, let me check.
And for this Hungary application, Africa is also okay, right? If you have Africans, because they are very price sensitive market, so we can
No,
look into
Africa, no problem.
Okay.
I will type down on the chat system here. So we have Karnataka, no.
Okay.
Telangana, no. Andhra Pradesh, no. Tamil Nadu, no. Kerala, no. Maharashtra,
Maharashtra, no.
no.
Okay.
So I just send this on the chat system. You can find this. I hope I did not do any mistake on the writing down. So this is
But then Gujarat, Rajasthan, Delhi, these all are okay.
these are the states which we cannot accept students.
Okay.
This is the situation.
Why is that? Is there an exclusivity?
Yes, exactly. They give an exclusivity to an agent and for South India.
Can we know which agents?
I don't know. I try to ask, but I presume will be the Aeromedical Agency. You know, let's put it like this one, Pavan. Let's put it like this one. I was thinking a lot, you know, in the last 2 days, how to explain this to you, but I'm a business person. Logically, Pavan, you come back to me and you say, Richard, we can bring you, sorry to say like this, out of the blue. We can bring you 300 students from the South. What I will do, I will go back to them and say, listen, my friend, you say no for this, but what we can bring is this. Are you sure you cannot open a door? I mean, we're talking about Poland. Poland are good business people as well. On my view, is this agency, which I presume is Aeromedical. This is an agency over there who is doing only medical students, Prashant. And logically, you can imagine, you go as a medical agency, you go to a medical school. The medical school, there are, you know, not many people working there on the international side. Remember, no, because they're not quite used to, etc., etc. Maybe they give them, okay, I give you 200 students. For them, it's fine. You know, this is the world we are in. Pavan, Philippines is okay, logically. There is absolutely not a problem, Philippines.
Okay, but you see, you also know that, you know, that, okay, now medical has not been part of our, I told you in the first call position as well that we will have not like 15, 16, 17 students out of the list of what you are calling. But now again, this state thing is we have to filter that, okay, if the student is staying in say, Surat, he's in Gujarat, but if he's staying in, because Maharashtra, Gujarat are borders. So some people are, and they will not be allowed. Now you have to check the passports for them. That, okay, what is the passport address? Where they come from Maharashtra? So that's cool. So this is something, again, we have to sit down with the team to see where do we stand in terms of, because the OSSA Canada is something which is good, which we completely agree on. We'll start, it's clear to us. For this medical and the Hungarian University of Sopron, this will sit and I have to get back to you by Friday and Monday maximum to see what numbers we can see in our pipelines, whether it's possible or not possible this intake. But yes, we are also looking into that how to focus on, because all these markets what you mentioned are 80% of the students they stay here in medical. If you see geographically in India, you will not get. Yeah.
Okay,
So
Pavan, I understand, but look, this is always. I always say we have to look the glass half full, not half empty.
correct.
Because you still have Sri Lanka, you still have Nepal, you have Bangladesh, you have the Philippines, you have Africa.
Yes.
If I'm looking, you know, I'm working very close with a university in the UK, and when I'm looking into the African students, the majority of the African students, they do the medical part. So, I mean, the great part is this one. Let's always see the glass half full. Logically, Pavan, if you come back to me on Friday or on Monday, say, Richard, we can bring in 200 students from this, but I need to be 100% sure. then I will try again to knock the door. But without this type of number, I cannot do a lot, and I don't want to have an issue with the medical university. I have to explain you why. Medical university, they are very hesitating to open the door to international students, very hesitating, because logically the main official language in the country is the European language, like Poland, Hungarian, etc., etc. So they need to hire people who speak English to be a teacher. Try to understand this part, Pavan. And this is why I need to have a very good relation with them, not creating any issue on this part. I have another door that maybe we can open, and but this we have to think over. This university offer as well the program online. So they offer the medical university program online. What does it mean? This means the student can do the medical university online the first 3 years in the home country, but then the next 3 years they can come to Poland. Logically, if I go back to them again, if I go back to them and say, listen, can you open a door for the online students? You know, Pavan, is all about this, but this is just a plan B or C.
Okay, and I get your point, Richard. So I will also have to sit down with the team, see our pipeline, and we'll work on this too as well to understand more where we stand in terms of our student numbers. No problem.
Then I wanted to bring to you the price list. I send you the price list as well, Pavan. If you wish, I can resend you everything, the price list, if in case you did not receive it. Did you receive the price list for Poland?
I received everything, and it's been forwarded to Prashant's and Wasim's team, so it should be okay.
Perfect. So I don't need to go inside in the price because it is there. Everything is written from A to Z. Yes. I don't know if you have 5 more minutes time, but I have another very interesting program, and is in Italy. Italy is very requested from Indian students in the last years, and we have 2 programs very interesting. The main one is the professional course. The professional course is not a bachelor, is not a master, is a professional course, and is a 1-year program. So they do 6 months theoretical and 6 months practicum internship. Let's call it like this one: 6 months theoretical and 6 months internship. And this is no need of English level, no need of any examination, etc., because they enter in another category. So everyone can apply. And the great advantage is that after they finish the 1 year, they will be able to find the jobs. If they don't find the jobs, they have 2 years, which they can renovate every 2 years. So they can stay here 2 years, and after 2 years renovate, and after 2 years renovate and renovate, because they enter in another visa section. This is something very, very interesting. I will send you this information to you, Pavan. You have a look. The great part is especially for people who want to work in the hotel industry, restaurant industry,
management.
chef in the kitchen, chef in the patisserie, maître d'hôtel, receptionist in the hotel. Everything has to do with the hotel industry and in the restaurant industry. There is a big demand in Italy, and the visa rate is very good, it's very excellent for Bangladesh students, Pakistani, and India, and Nepal, by the way, and Nepal as well. And this is a great advantage. Why is that? Because the students will be, there is a lot of, Italy is a tourist destination, and the English level in Italian is a disaster. So Indian Nepalese, they speak English, they speak English. They don't speak maybe fluent English, but they speak good English, better than Italian. So Nepalese, Indian, Pakistani, Bangladesh, they will be teaching Italian as well. The first 6 months, they will do the course in English and in Italian. So they will learn Italian. So when they will get a job, they will do the internship, and they will do the internship in Italian as well. So this is a great advantage. Every student who apply, they will start to do an Italian course online with the school directly. No charge, no additional cost. Just to give you this information, I will send you an email with all the information from A to Z, Pavan, so you can have a
Yes,
look.
please. Yes,
And
please.
this is it's now as well an interesting program, especially for Nepal, Indian, Pakistani, and Bangladesh students.
Sure, sure. Definitely share that with me. The more options you have like this, like because for medically it was very clear, 6,000 euros per year for 6 years program. So we have all
Yeah.
the information, which is information for us. So send that to me, and I'll pass it on to Prashant and Wasim together to make sure that we sit with the BDM, see the again, as you mentioned, we'll take a whiteboard, we'll jot down all the courses, all the programs and locations, and then we'll strategize on that, how to reach numbers over there.
Okay, perfect. Is there anything else you need to know, Pavan or
I
Wasim
think
or Prashan, Anish, Durgesh, please?
Yes, I'll just request you if you have anything about the visa process, any documentation, so that I can prepare for Hungary. I know
Okay.
it's come under Schengen visa, so I just need to understand the process timing. I need to understand.
Okay.
Can I jump in here? Sorry to interrupt. Can I just jump in? Durgesh, can you please set up another call to understand the visa processes?
Absolutely,
Uh,
absolutely, sir.
because I have another call.
For sure, I'll do that.
So let's keep this call for the basics for admissions and enrollment.
For sure.
recruitments,
For,
yeah, yeah.
for visa purpose, just have another call.
Okay, but I will send you the information by email so you have it as well in written.
Yes. And if you have any questions, you can always set up a call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
Wasim?
you so much.
Yes, Richard.
Any
Yeah,
questions?
so not as of now. That's all. But yeah, anything comes up, we'll definitely get back here, but we'll get back to you.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Pavan. We keep in touch in the next days.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much for your time.
Bye-bye,
Cheers.
everyone.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you.